The mid-20th century space race pushed humanity one step further towards space exploration. In 1957, the Soviet Union created history by successfully placing the world's first artificial satellite and the first man-made object, Sputnik 1, into the Earth's orbit. That space race eventually gave birth to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, on 29 July 1958. Considerably, the United States won the Battle of Space after the Apollo 11 mission on 20 July 1969, which was the first crewed mission to land on the moon. More than 50 years have passed. That giant leap for mankind have evolved drastically over the years. The technological evolution helped humanity to discover and solve many cosmos curiosity. The commercialization of space travel or space tourism is the next generation futuristic business module for a few billionaires, primarily offering people a glimpse of space and the experience of weightlessness in real time. So what's happening in this billion-dollar industry? In this episode of In Depth, we will analyze space tourism and its impact on humanity and on Earth. Hi, I'm Trishala and you're watching Prior In Depth. Space tourism is a familiar term for every space enthusiast. So what is space tourism? Space tourism is, in simple words, an expensive adventure towards zero gravity and observation of the curvature of our Earth. In the front row of this new era of private commercial space travel, three billionaire entrepreneurs, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson, are on the race. Remarkably, on July 11, 2021, Richard Branson successfully launched his Virgin Galactic spacecraft with 2 pilots and 4 crew members, including Branson himself. The Virgin Galactic rocket plane Unity reached the height of 85 kilometers, experiencing weightlessness for a while in space. The trip was, as he said, experience of a lifetime. As per report, nearly 600 individuals have already paid deposits for tickets, which will cost them up to $2,050. Space companies including SpaceX, Blue Origins, Virgin Galactic, and Space Adventures want to put more people in space in the coming years, and the race has already started. After Branson, Jeff Bezos has visited space along on July 20 with his brother Mark Bezos and 2 other crew members in his rocket ship New Shepard by his own space company Blue Origin. Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa spent a huge amount of money with Elon Musk's own SpaceX in 2018 for a possible future private trip around the moon. Report says Blue Origin's New Shepard is designed to serve the burgeoning market for space tourism. Following an investigation, the Federal Aviation Administration grounded Virgin Galactic spacecraft over the flight issues. The rocket motor on Virgin Galactic's ship is programmed to burn for a minute. However, on the July 11th flight, a red light appeared on the console before it had a few more seconds to go, which is an entry glide cone warning, meaning maximum the risks involved during the flight. The warning flight was on because the spacecraft deviated from its air traffic control clearance and flew outside its designated airspace for 1 minute and 41 seconds, FAA told CNBC. The Federal Aviation Administration regulates the private space industry and investigates each mission to prevent collisions with general air traffic, including commercial airliners, and to limit civilian casualties in the event of an accident. SpaceX and Blue Origins uses the traditional engineer's automated vertical launch, whereas Virgin uses a piloted winged rocket ship, which makes it a matter of life and death, as described by the New York magazine, which broke the news. Unlike Virgin Galactic, SpaceX and Blue Origin undergo several test launches before a flight with human on board. So what about the environmental impact of the so-called race? A rocket launching into space requires huge amount of propellants to reach escape velocity of Earth. And for that, SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket uses kerosene, NASA uses liquid hydrogen in their new space launch system, and Branson's Virgin Galactic flights are powered by a hybrid engine that burns rubber and leaves behind a cloud of soot. Soot is known to cause haze acidification of lakes and rivers, and increase the risk of respiratory infections, heart disease, and lung cancer in people. Blue Origin's New Shepard suborbital vehicle BE-3 engine, on the other hand, combines liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen to create thrust. According to experts, the BE-3 is not a big polluter compared to other rocket engines emitting mainly water along with some minor combustion products. However, the emissions from these vehicles are quite low as of compared to that of the aviation industry because the space race is in its early stage. In 2020, there were 114 attempted orbital launches in the world, compared to that airline industry's more than 1 lakh flights each day on average. Yet the concern cannot be ruled out, for they are increasing at nearly 5.6% a year according to experts. Experts' concerns doesn't end there. Emissions from rockets are stored right into the upper atmosphere for 2 to 3 years. That's quite a long time. The injection of water in there could have seemingly warming impacts. Closer to the ground, burning fuels emit huge amounts of heat and it remains in the atmosphere. And in the upper atmosphere, the ozone layer can be destroyed by the combination of elements from burning fuels. Karen Rosenloff, senior scientist at the Chemical Sciences Laboratory at the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, told Space.com that the problem with soot is that it absorbs ultraviolet light, and that means that it could heat that stratosphere. Rosenloff said, when you start heating the stratosphere, the layer above the troposphere, you start changing the motion in the stratosphere. You are changing the energy transfer and could actually affect what is happening on the ground. According to The Guardian, a new market report estimates that the global suborbital transportation and space tourism market is estimated to reach $2.58 billion in 2031, growing 17.15% each year of the next decade. Along with the rising emission from the industry, another major concern to consider is the space debris from the launches. A report from The Conversation states that more than 100 million tiny pieces of debris are spinning in Earth orbit, along with tens of thousands of bigger chunks and around 3,300 functioning satellites. Space agencies such as NASA and ESA have established orbital debris research programs to observe such debris and develop strategies to control its effects, yet there's a long way to reduce the space junk from the orbit. Despite minimal emission compared to the aviation industry, the space tourism would have a longer and horrible impact on the atmosphere. There's no doubt about it. The race itself giving birth to new startups, and the competition will attract as many tourists as possible. There's already a lineup of the passengers waiting to have the experience of that of an astronaut at the greater cost of the environment. Further research to be done to study the greater impact of these emissions, but the current data does not diminish the negative impact of the growing industry.